Y sí, estamos grabando clase. So let's see. Buenos días, todo el mundo. Let me just make one little adjustment here. Oh, and then we'll mute. Mute. I've got you muted, so nobody has to do that. Okay, so I'm gonna just start with a little bit of a sway from side to side. So this doesn't need to be a big movement, but just kind of finding gravity through your feet. And just notice from the beginning, from the get-go, how is your body taking weight? What does your foot do? So a lot of times if the inner arch of the foot isn't activating, the weight falls to the outside. So I want you to kind of, maybe as you're just shifting your weight side to side, start feeling your big toe base joint on each foot. Let that land first. Let that land first. So you start to feel, oh, that's my whole arch. That's everything working. And we're going to kind of be wide legs for just a moment. Good. And then from here, I want you to just let your tailbone move forward and back a few times. You could put your hands here on your rib cage and just feel the orientation of your ribs to your pelvis. Let the pelvis move back. You can bend in the knees a little bit and then kind of feel yourself pull the pelvis beneath you. So pelvis beneath you, not pelvis jutting forward. So just kind of pay attention to those sensations there. Good. And then from here, let's go ahead, keeping your pelvis right underneath your head, la pelvis debajo de la cabeza. Vamos a girar, girar, girar. So you're going to just change your twist side to side, kind of keep the pelvis under you. And then if it feels nice, go ahead, add that pivot onto the big toe base joint through each foot. So that's going to allow for a little twist in the back. Good. And just waking up your joints slowly, carefully, precisely. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then from here, come back to your center and we're gonna just move your weight into either foot and let the opposite foot lift off. So again, feeling yourself sort of grow all of these sensations through the floor. Good. Por el piso. So continue to kind of feel that big toe base joint land so that the inner thigh engages. Beautiful. So now again with the feet nice and wide, but your 10 toes facing forward, let's move your pelvis back and then take the arms up. So atrás, atrás y arriba. Good. So kind of a good rule of movement is when the toes are parallel, when your 10 toes are facing forward, the pelvis moves back. When your toes are facing out and the femur bones are externally rotated, the pelvis goes straight down. Good. Let's now take a little pause down here. Take your hands here to your thighs. Give me a little drum roll. Drum into the thighs. And then let your head, so I want to practice this a few times. Let the head really stay actively above the tailbone. Feel your shoulder blades, your collarbones moving apart. Good. The low back staying long and broad as you practice a steady long spine coming down and up. The other thing I want you to feel really when the thighs move back, no weight falls forward into the knees. That's just not sustainable for knees. So let's hold down here for a moment. Head to tail. Oh. Inhale, coming up. Head coming down, so big arch in the back. Inhaling up. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, rounding. Inhale up. And then just take one arm out and under. So you're just letting the palm come to face up and back. Good. So just checking in on that whole shoulder. Beautiful. And then exhale, let's try that on the other side. Under and up, under and up. And again, stay active through your feet. Good. Exhale, take 2 arms. Good. One thumb down, one thumb back. Exhale, kind of breathing into all that work there. Good morning, shoulders. Buenos días, columna. Muy bien. And then from here, I'm going to take my opposite shoulder towards my rodilla. Inhale, coming up. Try that on the other side. So feeling a long stretch through your back. So if your pelvis stays steady, la pelvis estable. If your pelvis is steady in the air, then the reach of the ribs, the reach of the torso is what creates the stretch in the back. Let's go each direction just one more time. And then we'll exhale, come take your arms up in the air for just a moment. And let's let one arm float into your side. Good. And check on your neck here. So take your gaze to your pinky toe, your dedito chiquito, and then your gaze to your pulgar. Good. Exhale, coming up. Find that at your side for a moment. Vista, your gaze at your dedito chiquito, and then your pulgar. So a long stretch over. Good. Inhale, take 2 hands to the top of the head for just a moment. And then we're going to turn your right toes out. So when the right toes turn out, pull the left hip back to maintain some balance in the pelvis. Then let's begin to bend and straighten this knee. So when the knee moves out, you should be able, with clarity, to see your big toe. And if you'll just notice again, another habit, never let the knee bend beyond the heel. So when you feel the verticality, the knee right over the heel, push back. And again, maintain the arch in the foot. So if you can see my foot from the floor, the knee isn't falling in relative, right? It's reaching out. So the bones of the foot stay balanced. Good, let's hold down here, take a stretch towards that leg, and then reach away. So take a stretch, take your gaze towards your pinky toe, and now towards the thumb. Towards the pinky toe, your dedito chiquito, y ahora tu pulgar en el aire. Good, one more time. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful, hands back to the head for a moment. Turn the toes in, find the other toes beginning to reach out. So then the first thing I do is pull this hip bone back. So the opposite hip pulls back so that I can bend and extend. So a mistake often that I see people make is the torso falls with the knee. You want to resist the torso back from the knee as the knee opens out. So there's no falling into the movement, but instead feeling the verticality of your center, el centro del cuerpo vertical mientras la rodilla está doblando. Good, and you want to feel the arch of the foot picking up from the floor. The architecture, right? Think about how structurally supportive an arch is. Good, and then from here, let's just pause, elbow, and then up. Actually, this is what we did. And reaching, I don't know what we did. No pasa nada. Look down, yes, see all those toes. Exhale, look up, feel that side of you stretch. See all those toes, feel that side of you stretch. Oh, feel, see all those toes, and then that side of you stretching, releasing, opening. Beautiful. Inhale, let's take a pause. 2 arms all the way up for a moment. Turn the 2 toes in. You can kind of scissor the feet in. And now let's let your all 10 toes go out. And from here, I'm just going to take a moment to go heel and heel. Talon, 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 talon. Planta del pie. So ball of the foot. Planta del pie. Planta, planta. So feel the balls of the foot. And then heels, balls of the feet, heels, balls of the feet. Good. Exhale, bend the knees and extend. Doblamos, estiramos. Doblamos, estiramos. Doblamos, estiramos. So you're going to bend and up, and bend and up, and bend and up,
and bend and up. Hold here. Let the ribs and head reach to one side and up. The head and ribs reach. So the knees bend, the hips stay steady, and now the torso reaches to one side and up, reaches to the other side and up. And so you just feel all that connection made through the center of the body. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, come. Bring yourself up nice and tall. Let's turn toward the right foot. So forward and back. And now again, if it feels helpful, put your hands on the hips to just feel that weight shift forward and back. So the movement we need when we're walking, when we're skipping, saltando, brincando. Good, caminando. Beautiful. So adelante y atrás, adelante y atrás, adelante y atrás, adelante y atrás. Let's hold that front knee bent. And then again, bend and straighten your back knee. Put your hands on the low back and just feel as the knee bends. Again, this doesn't need to be a big movement, or if you want more bend, walk your front foot out a little bit further. But really feel the stretch in your back leg. Good. And steadiness in the hips and pelvis. So the back heel anchors. The other thing is, I don't know if you can see, this is subtle, but that's a bent knee. And to really reach the thigh bone back gives us that structural support. Okay. So hold the bend. The left arm stretch up. Let the right fingertips stretch down. Really feel the belly extend. Inhale. Let the right fingertips stretch up. Let the left arm reach behind you. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Good. Let's inhale, center. Exhale. This time, pause with your left arm on the back. Take your right hand behind the head. Stretch for a moment. Good. Take two hands behind the head. Stretch for a moment. Good. And then extend two thumbs up in the air. Stretch. And then just pivoting in the feet. Take that all the way around. And we're going to try more or less those things on this side. So forward and back. Feel what's happening with your sternum here, keeping the upper body in extension, slowing your descent, right? So as you come down, find that as a slow movement. Down and up, down and up, down and up, down, up, down, arriba y abajo. So now let's go ahead, plant the front foot, and then this time I'm going to turn the fingertips up on my back just to get a little stretch. And if you need to walk your feet a little further apart, that's great. So with your front leg, con la pierna adelante, doblamos, estiramos la rodilla, bend and straighten the knee, remembering that the knee stops right above the heel, you push back. Knee stops above the heel, we push back. Atrás. And then the back leg is staying straight. You just don't want to create a bend there. You want to feel the femur bones stay actively reaching back. Dos y uno. Muy bien. So now we're just going to take a pause here. The right arm reach up and back. Let the left arm reach up and back. Let's take the two arms in the center. Feel extension. So this really reaches into the belly. Inhale. Switch the position of the two arms. Inhale, center. Keep the weight anchored in the feet and back. Inhale and back. Good. So now I'm just going to leave my right hand on my lumbar, left hand behind my head. Reach your tailbone down, down, down. Good. Switch the position of the two hands. Inhale, take two hands behind the head. Breathe into that deeply. And then two arms up. exhale forward, step the back foot in, and then I just want us to lightly kind of run in place here. So again, you're running in place. Estamos corriendo en el mismo lugar, sin mover, but I want you to feel that you slow your descent down. So what would it mean to just make your foot come down slower? Más despacio, right? And just feel all that connection. Do this for a moment with your hands on the ribs, hands on the hips, manos aquí en la cadera, manos aquí en la cabeza. Good. So we get a sense of, what am I doing? Manos aquí in your clavicula, right? Exhale, back to standing tall. So now try this. Inhale, reach your thighs back. Exhale, pull in. So my 10 toes are parallel. Los dedos adelante. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, stand tall. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, stand tall. So remember, head just travels along the spine. Thoracic spine stays long. 3, y 2, y 1. Good. Put your hands here on your hips for a moment. Raise your right heel and down. So the hips aren't going to fall or the pelvis fall forward. Raise the left heel and down. Oh, lift and lower, lift and lower. So now lift the right heel and then change the position of your 2 feet. Inhale and exhale, change. Inspira y expira, cambiamos. Inspira, expirar, cambiamos. So you change in that exhale, inhale and exhale, change. Inhale and exhale, change. Inhale, exhale, change. Let's hold the left heel up, take the right arm out and let them lift and lower. Let's go 5, 4, y 3, y 2, y 1. Good. Setting that foot right back down where it was. Changing heels, left arm, brazo izquierdo afuera. And then 5, y 4, y 3, y 2, y 1. Good. Now slowly setting that down. Take 2 arms up, 2 talones arriba. Good. 2 heels, chin over your right shoulder, so your barbilla sobre tu hombro derecho. 2 arms out. Your cabeza, your chin, your barbilla sobre el hombro izquierdo of your left shoulder. And back. Inhale. And exhale, change as the arms come down. Inhale, feel that connection. Exhale, cambiando, cambiando, cambiando. Inhale, back into your center. And exhale, move the thighs back for just a moment. Take a breath. Inhale up. And exhale, opposite elbow to thigh. Good. So feeling the hips, your 10 toes parallel. Your ankles, your tobillos paralelos, your knees, your rodillas paralelas, your thighs, your muslos paralelos, your espalda baja paralela, right? So from the ribs of the hips, long spine. Inhale, arriba, arriba. Good. You could even lift your heels, and then vamos a girar otra dirección. You're going to turn the other way. So again, 10 toes. Los 10 dedos del pie should be parallel. Your rodillas paralelas. Your knees parallel the thighs. The bones of the hips, la cadera paralela. Good. And then exhale, lengthen through your back. Inspirar arriba. Good. Letting the heels come up. Expirar. Let's lower the heels. Let your head come down. And take just a moment. So vamos a sentir. So not down and up con la cabeza, arriba y abajo con la cabeza. Good. And then from here, I'm going to go lado y lado con mi cabeza. So chin over each shoulder. Good. Negando con la cabeza. Good. And then I'm going to inhale, look up. So feel the thighs and hamstrings. The way you won't feel your thighs and hamstrings is if you round the back. So if I lengthen up here and hold my knees firm, not the knees falling forward, but the knees reaching back. Then I use the backs of the legs and my spine. Exhale, come down gently. Let's go ahead and step back, right? Good. And then just pause in that for a moment and stretch the hips forward. You could even bring your elbows here. And again, kind of try to find some length in your lumbar. Find some release in the hip. And then exhale. Let's go ahead and step your left foot back. Reach your tailbone in the air. So lengthen out the sides of the waist by reaching the tailbone up, 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 up. Scooping the belly strong. Extend the right leg. So so you haven't twisted the hips to lift the leg. And I want you to feel quadricep, glute, and hamstring working to hold that top leg up. Bend the knee. Lift it a hair higher. And vamos a colocar el pie detrás de la mano. So now you're going to put the foot behind the hand. Back heel anchors into the floor. Exhale, coming up. Warrior one. So give this 5 breaths. Letting your pulgares están tocando. Maybe your meñiques, your anulares, your medios, your índices. So all the fingers coming together. Good. Open into a Y shape, your arms. Los brazos abiertos. And then exhale, take your elbow here, your codo apuesto. So this is my codo izquierdo, reaching towards my muslo derecho. I'm going to take for a moment my right hand to the sits bone. Reach the sitting bone back. Good. And then exhale from there, hand to my ankle. And I'm going to reach this arm up and then extend the knee as I push my sitting bone back. Mientras estoy empujando atrás. Muy bien. Beautiful. So now from here, I could just bend this knee. As I bend the knee, I'm going to lift my spine up. Good. Extend up, 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 up. Beautiful. Take my 2 hands to the inside of that right leg. Pivot, pivot, pivot. Come and turn away from the computer. So now I'm in a Padottanasana. Once again, asentimos con la cabeza y hacia la derecha, hacia la izquierda, negamos con la cabeza. So now you're going to head lado y lado. And from here, vamos a girar. So I'm going to just now turn towards my left side, bring my back foot in, pause for a moment. So maybe manos aquí. Abrazando las piernas, so you could just hug the legs. Abrazando, and this also, again, tremendous relief for your low back. It's possible. Hasta aquí. And then vamos a subir, subir, subir. So we'll lift all the way up. And I want to try all those actions again. So just the kind of light little running in place. And from here, slow your feet down. Try to visualizamos. Bueno, la planta del pie. So visualize the sole, the bottom of your foot there. Good. Good. And then from here, just take a little pause. Tailbone down. Inhale, reach your arms out. And then exhale, feel your heels lift. Take your chin over one shoulder. Good. Inhale, arms out. Heels lift, chin over the other shoulder. So feel the sides of the neck stretch. Space between the collarbone. Inhale, and the top of the head. Exhale, lift one more time there. Inhale. Now stretch and reach your thighs back. Let's undulate a little bit to lift. Inhale, reach arms forward, hip sitting bones back. Undulate the spine to lift. Inhale. And exhale, undulate to lift. Inhale and exhale, undulate to lift. Let's do that one more time. And I'm just adding a little curl in my wrists. And that feels so good. I want to just do it one more time. Good. So brazos afuera. Take your right elbow, your codo apuesto, hacia tu muslo. So the elbow comes to the thigh. And the 10 toes anchor, and the shin bones move vertically And then we can begin to gradually bring the tailbone down. So we create that extension through parallel, knees, hips, moving that weight back. Inhale, nos levantamos. And you could even lift the heels an inch as you move the tailbone towards your heels, hacia los talones. Good. Exhale. Taking that down. And we're just twisting once again. So opposite side, this is mi codo izquierdo. And the idea being 10 toes face forward, your ankles parallel, so tobillos paralelos, también rodillas, also your knees. And you're going to bring your tailbone down mientras estamos cerrando aquí. Good. Inspira arriba. Take all of that up. And now exhale, manos aquí into muslos. Let the head stretch. So focus for a moment on estirando la garganta. Good. So what I'm doing is I'm putting my hands on my knees, reaching my tailbone back, my clavicle up. I'm really letting the front of my throat stretch. Oh, let's exhale. Take a forward bend from there. Asentimos el cuerpo. So you're letting the head move over each shoulder. Your hombros, yeah, your barbilla tocando los hombros. Good. Inhale, look all the way up. Get into that big toe base joint again. And in fact, put your hands for a moment just underneath your feet. Feel the head stretch away from the tail as you put the weight of the body in the balls of the feet. So breathe in, breathe out, respirando profundamente aquí, and then exhale, bajando la cabeza. Good. And then I'm going to come look up for a moment and just begin by reaching my left leg back, letting my right or my left knee move into the floor. In this position, I really try to still keep this relationship of vertical shin bone. So una espinilla vertical. I'm going to take my two hands in, let the weight move into the floor just a little bit. Good. Always kind of pushing back, empujando el peso del cuerpo atrás, pushing the weight of the body back. Super bien. From here, I'm going to bring my two hands back in and my right foot out, out, out. And then from there, let the left leg lift. When the leg comes up, try not to pivot the pelvis, but you want to feel all the muscles. There's real power here. So the leg is lifting from the front and from the back. Then we're going to doblar la rodilla, bend the knee. And then desde aquí, from here, let's colocar el pie detrás. You're going to put the foot behind the hand, turn the back heel out or in slightly, big toe, the back foot. So right now, I'm just looking, you all, at the arch of my back foot. You want to spread and feel that whole arch as we lift, 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 up, 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 finding a little warrior one. So from here, you can let the pulgares, your thumbs, touch. Then your meñiques, your pinkies, anulares, your ring finger, your índice, your segundo, your medio. Good. And then exhale. Feel the whole body. So tailbone continues to descend. And then your sternum comes up. Let's exhale into a Y. So ir griega with your arms. And then you're going to take your codo hacia tu muslo. Left hand, so my mano izquierda aquí en mi isquillón. So in the sitting bone, let my head come up here. Good. Reach the arm. Reach the other arm. Reach through that back thigh. Good. Good. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And from here, let's just exhale, come through a little Harsvottanasana. And then I just gonna look up And take myself into a Padottanasana. Good, and really check on my neck. Find the head releasing, so you could even for a moment put your hands, your manos detrás de la cabeza, put your hands behind my head and roll it up here, roll underneath you. And then from there, I'm going to reach out into my feet, take my right foot to my left and come to standing. So once again, just a light little movement right and left, letting your knees continue to face forward, releasing in the arms. Good, letting one arm go, the other arm just go. Okay. And then I want to let's try some balance. So I'm going to start by stepping weight into my right foot, dedo, planta, talón. And then let my left heel lift. I'm going to open the knee to the side. And again, visualize the arch of your right foot. Connected, engaged. And then exhale the left heel to your espinilla, to your shin. And we'll go dedo, planta, talón. So you plant the foot there. Feel the arch, el arco del pie izquierdo. So the arches of both feet are active here. And then the brazos pueden flotar arriba. Good. And then exhale, just pressing down for a moment. Good. If this is feeling good, heel, ball, toe. And once again, brazos en el aire. Good. Push the foot to the thigh. And push the interlace the fingers going the other way, pressing down. Y arriba. Good. Exhale. Release your two legs. So when the muslo, your thigh, comes up, keep the torso upright. So that becomes like a marching action. Beautiful. So now let's find some weight on the left side. We'll go dedo, planta, talón. Feel the arch, the architecture of that foot. Lift your right heel, abrimos, open. And then we're going to go heel, ball, toe, de talón, planta, dedo. Aquí. If you lose your balance, if that leg needs support, you just put the foot down and bring it back. Muy bien. Good. So it's not about, I don't want to lose my balance. It's I'm going to lose my balance eventually sometimes. How do I want to restore? How do I want to restore my balance? Good. Woo! Right? And back in. Beautiful. If the foot wants to come to the thigh, it's a heel, ball, toe. Feel that connection. Brazos en el aire. Let the fingers interlace, move down. And exhale, release. Rock the weight side to side. Lado y lado y lado y lado y lado. Good. And then we're just going to step to the top of the mat. Once again, this is my left side. Mi lado izquierdo. Adentro. Take your two arms up and move the thighs back. Let the head melt down. And once again, find some length. I'm going to try a little experiment here. So reach your right arm out just a little. Then take the left arm up. Good. And you can try that on the other side. So you just feel, and your knees can stay soft, but still move the thigh bones back. And from here, I'm going to melt my head. And then I'm going to step my right foot back, my left foot back. Just pause for a moment in a plank, pushing the weight of the body back. Let the tailbone rise. Spread out the ball of your left foot, reach the heel from the toe, lift the right leg, and then open the hip. Muy bien. So desde aquí, so from here, I'm going to take my right foot behind my hand, turn my left toes afuera, and then exhale, lift up, finding a warrior two. Let's see how deep we can go here today. So a right angle between the calf and the thigh is about as deep in that front leg as we want to go. The opposite thigh, imagine the arch of the foot. Imagine the arch of this thigh lifting up. So you're supported from the floor. Brazos afuera. Good, 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 good. So now from here, I'm just going to take my right hand down and let the sides of my ribs, sort of front ribs pull in, bottom ribs pull up. Costillas moviendo en oposición, and this top arm over your ear, your brazo sobre la oreja. Your gaze could move up. Muy bien. And then I'm going to reach my hand back, back, back. Take the gaze up. Y atrás. Good. And again, I'm trying to push up from that bottom side. So not all this weight is falling here. Instead, it's really resisting upward. Okay, so now hand at the hip, the back foot moves in, 2 feet. The right hand moves out 1 foot. Line up your pulgar, your thumb, with your dedito cerquito. And then we're going to lift this leg. So I want you to try to feel. Look at your right toes. Even out the ankle bones. So if the inner ankle is lifting up, I want you to pull that inner ankle down as you raise the arch of the foot. That connection into the thigh. And then reach through that supporting side as well. And from here, just set that foot down. Good. And then you could wrap the arms around that leg. Find the weight in your opposite foot as you step it underneath you. And then possibly consider lifting onto the leg if your leg is feeling it. Extend the leg. Release. Lower down. And then just take a little twist. I mean, for real. So if all you did this morning was come and twist a little, why not? That's not too bad. Oh, yes. Okay, so I'm going to just hop, skip, and jump to the other side of my mat. Inhale, brazos en el aire, so taking the arms all the way up. Oh, and then exhale, find a long forward bend, letting the head come down. So as much as you can, release the back without hyperextending the knees. Release the head without going floppy in the legs. Good. And from here, we're going to inhale. I want to do hands underneath your feet again, Padastasana. And then doblamos los codos so you really bend at the elbows. Spread yourself out. And as much as you can, feeling the quadriceps right around the kneecaps. Lift up and engage so the knees are supported. The more support you have in the legs, the more freedom you'll be able to find in your back, which is the thing we want here. And then also this is almost like acupressure for your hands. Good. So you can kind of push in, massage with your toes. Beautiful, Padastasana. So now inhale, looking all the way up for a moment. Let's go ahead. Step back with your left leg. Step back with your right leg. Push into the floor to find a plank for a moment. So tailbone's reaching away from the head. Head is up, belly is in. And then we'll take the tailbone skyward. I'm going to let my this is going to be my right heel reach into the floor. Left leg lifts, bend the knee, open the hip. Abrimos. So you still really want to push back, resist with the hands. Find the arches of your hands. Muy bien, vamos a colocar el pie detrás de la mano. So you're going to put the foot behind the hand, turn the back toes out, and then arriba. So let's see, what can we get today in our Warrior 2? Clavícula, costillas, cadera. Clavícula, costillas, cadera. Feel that strong 2 lines as you bend the knee. And then this is an ángulo recto. You're getting a right angle between the thigh and the calf. Then the arms descend. This is a lot to make happen. Good. And then we're going to reach your rib cages over to the side. Good. Take a moment here. Turn the palm, the top hand over. Estirando la axila, stretch your armpit. Estirando muy bien, still feel all that architecture in your 2 feet. Do the arch. Good. And then lengthening out the sides of the ribs, hand to the hip. Estiramos. So now you're going to lengthen the bottom knee as much as you can. And again, resist. Feel yourself held by the oblique wall. Top arm up. Trikonasana. Again, put your hands on blocks if you need to. And from here, let's exhale, hand to the hip. From here, I'm just going to bend my back knee. Step it in just a hair. Walk my left hand, my mano izquierda afuera. And then you're lining up your pulgar, your thumb with your dedito chiquito. And then watch the architecture of that left foot as the right leg comes to rise. So we're going to spread and lift. Feel the length in your 2 legs. Flex in the feet. Open in the chest. Good, 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 good. So just stay with Ardha Chandrasana. It's a glorious pose, this half moon. Or you can reach that foot back slowly. I'm going to take the inner, so my bottom arm to the inner of my front leg. You could just be here. This is a great little stretch. Your shoulder, or you step that foot in a little bit. We push in to the right side. So just be with that right foot. Good architecture. And then exhale. Extend the left leg as much as it says yes. Release, and everybody just check your hips. Good. Do the twist. Do the twist. Might be the best move we've done all day. Exhale and exhale. Okay, so I'm going to put now my blanket en la mitad, in the middle of my mat. I'm going to practice a couple of things. So you can let your 2 knees come down. I'm actually going to turn my blanket so it's like this for me. And I'm going to put my palms here in the center of my mat. And so if all we're doing is sort of like a modified Pincha Mayurasana, that's where I'd like us to begin. So press the palms here into the floor and lift your hips. When the hips lift, you can go ahead and bend the knees and then pull your tailbone as high as possible. So we want to really break the habit of weight falling forward. We know when we lift from the floor, we're going to move the weight of the body up and back. That force of gravity is not going to change. It's just what body part we're using when. So now I'm going to take my left knee all the way up in the air. No weight on my head. I'm just getting used to the idea of getting that. Do you see how vertical the thigh can become? And that's what you need in a headstand. So just practice that for a second. When you need to, give all those muscles a little rest and come down in child's pose. And if you want to kind of visualize yourself doing that on the other side, strengthen your shoulders and upward back. A lift of the tailbone, your coccyx en el aire, and then the verticality of one single leg. Good. So even if you start by just making the femur bone vertical, that's good stuff. So just try it again. Push the arms down, 10 toes, lift. The tailbone, instead of curling under, reaches up, 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 up. And then from here, bend the left knee. First, just get that left knee to the hip height. And then try to lift it a little bit higher. And then try to extend the leg. And then make sure your neck is free. Good. And then exhale. Release. Keep that little lift. Keep that little lift. Doblamos las rodillas. Bend the knees. Take it down. Just rest for a moment. That's really hard work to go intentionally against gravity with that kind of clarity, right? You're upside down. It's a lot to process. So any part of that you can continue to practice. Just lifting the tail, just pushing down with the arms. And then if you'd like to practice a little bit of Shirsasana, it's more like this. The arm bones press down, the fingers interlace. The head, top of the head moves to the floor. Everyone could go here. or you could just lift the tail. And then again, the verticality is about the spine. We begin there, bringing the tailbone over the head, then bend one knee, then bend the other. And then you could work to bring one knee joint vertical and down, one knee joint vertical, so femur bone really, and down. Two legs moving up, flexing the feet, finding that connection into the fronts of the legs, the back of the legs, up through the spine. Breathing, breathing. Bending the knees. And exhale, coming down, coming down, coming down. Toes into the floor. And let's exhale, push and hang. So just hang for a second. Then you can walk the fingertips out. And then I'm just going to come set my sits bones on this blanket. Inhale, come stretch, reach forward. And exhale, take my two legs long. Come stretch, reach forward. Really aiming for some release in my upper back. And then I'm going to inhale, sit tall. Exhale, reach my arms out. And then just slowly, slowly, slowly scoop into my belly to lower down into the floor. Shoulder blades pulling together. Arm bones pulling in. Exhale, bring your knees over your chest for a moment. And then from here, let's just exhale. See if you can press the arm bones down. Stay bent with the knees if you'd like. Let the knees come over. And then you could work to extend a knee. And really watch your spine, the back of the neck. This should feel like the weight is really anchored in the shoulders and the shoulder blades. You could extend a knee, right? And really feel that extension. You could extend both knees. Bend your knees. One knee up and down. Other knee up and down. Two knees up. Hands to the hips. Moving the hips back. Extending the legs. Good. So your pelvis could rest in the hands for a moment, or you could bring your hands to the base of the ribs and feel that weight even in the rib cage, right to left. And again, there's a real reach in the legs to pull the body up, 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 up. Find that verticality. And then exhale, arms down. Pelvis slowly, slowly moves down. Right leg extends, left leg extends, elbows push in, and I want to lift, scoop my rib cage up, bottom lip over my top lip, and breathe. I'm going to exhale, put a little weight in my elbows once again, bend in the knees, and push to lift just my pelvis up. Bring my palms together, walk the arm bones in, and again, push through the heels, lift the rib cage up, 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 big stretch. And from here, coming down, you'll let my fingertips move underneath me, or you could take your hands more towards your ankles. So everybody could try that. Again, walking the shoulder blades together and feeling that part of you that's reaching, sternum reaching up and out. The thigh bones lifting, the shin bones vertical, and not a lot of weight falling on the neck and vertebra. They're so small, so they don't want that. And come out when you're ready. And then from here, I'm going to take my fingertips underneath me. So you may want to do this. You may just want to practice having your hands behind the head, lifting the pelvis, hands behind the head, lifting the sternum, hands behind the head, lifting up, and then finding the weight of the body, reaching out. Oh, this feels like the best back bend I've had in a long time. Exhale, coming down. Exhale, circling your wrists, bring them into the sides of you. Knees over the chest, let the knees go to the left, your gaze to the right. Knees over your chest, sobre el pecho y hacia la derecha. Good. Just open the two legs. And from here, extend at the knees. You feel an opening across your groin. And we're just going to breathe. Respirando profundamente. So that gentle undulation of your breath, helping you discover stillness in the other parts of you. And then use a big exhale to roll yourself onto one side. And then we can push up and find ourselves seated.
Con las palmas juntas, with your palms together, bowing the head, bajando la cabeza, cerrando los ojos. Tu práctica es un regalo. Your practice is a gift. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy your morning. Namaste.